guys, it's Chum and I'm reacting to a video. Yay! I haven't been posting, I don't know why. But before we get into this video, give this video a like, and if you haven't subscribed yet, go and subscribe. And yeah, let's get right to it.
And guess what? Some of them look really, really weird. Some of them have been top secret designs. Some of them you will never see at your local airport. And they are all in this video. My name is Danny Burke, and this is the top 10 craziest planes to ever exist. Hey, just a second. Now we have the Avrocar. Its full name was the Avro Canada VZ9 Avrocar, but it was a secret US project. Guys. They thought they could hide it by putting Canada in the name.
Leave a comment if you know this is fake.
As you can see, it's basically a UFO, and over the 3 years it was flown, from 1958 to 1961, it was probably responsible for a lot of UFO sightings in America. Now this was at the start of the Cold War, when America was presuming that any nuclear war would leave most air bases in ruins. They wanted aircraft that could take off from roads or even fields if it had to. The Avrocar looked like it might be the answer, but in the end it proved too unstable and the project was scrapped. Although some people might tell you that we just handed them back to the aliens. Next up at number 9 now, we have the Airbus Beluga. Here is a picture of a beluga whale. Now here is a picture of the Airbus Beluga. I know, I think they're related too. The Beluga has been around since the mid-90s and they are a pretty rare sight. Only 5 of them have ever been made. You guys might be wondering how many people could fit in there, but the Beluga's main purpose is to carry airplane parts. Look, here's a picture of it giving birth out of its head to the front of smaller aeroplanes. Now, if that's not strange enough, wait until you see their new Beluga XL design. It has more of a jawline than I do. I'm very jealous of a plane. Coming at number 8 now, we have the Goblin. Its full name is the McDonnell XF-85 Goblin, and it was conceived during World War II. And when you think of a Goblin, you normally think of this creature. And I think that suits this plane quite well because it's what's known as a parasite fighter. Essentially, it will be dropped like a mini bomb out of a bigger plane. It will then fly around, do its thing, and return to the mothership to dock again. It sounds crazy, but it got quite far in development before being cancelled. The main reason was that it needed an insanely skilled pilot to successfully dock it in midair. Poor Goblin. Moving on to number 7 now, we have the Nemeth umbrella plane. Built in 1934, you can see why it was called the umbrella plane. It was built by students at Miami University who wanted to demonstrate that you don't need a traditional wing shape to achieve flight. If you crunch the numbers just right, you could get wings of many different shapes to successfully work. They believed it could even be done with one big fat circle for a wing, and they were right. There wasn't really any practical use for this as far as I could see. They just thought it would be cool to build. Fair enough. Alright, coming in at number 6 now, we have the Bartini Beriev VVA-14. This plane was built by the Soviet Union in the 1970s, and I think it looks really, really cool, like something out of Star Wars. Its unusual design was intended...
This looks like a banana. If you guys don't know what a banana is, it's actually an inflatable boat, kind of. And it's like an ocean boat, and then they take you, and then it hops a little through the waves, and it's really fun. And it looks exactly like this.
To make it able to take off from water and fly at high speeds over long distances. The Soviets wanted to run bombing missions attacking US submarines.
Search banana boat and you're gonna laugh because that looks exactly like it.
And this was their idea for it. It was designed by Italian designer Robert Bartini. That's right, not all Italian designers are in fashion. Some of them make amphibious bomber planes. Sadly, Bartini died in 1974 and the test flights were brought to an end. One of them still exists though in a Russian museum, looking like a stolen prop from Star Wars. Moving on to number 5 now, we have the Blom & Voss BV-141. This was a German plane from World War II that is known for its structural asymmetry. If those words sound too fancy, you'll know what they mean just by looking at it. The BV-141 just looked kind of off. It looks like two planes that crashed into each other and just went with it. Kind of looks like a weird plane Pokemon. In reality though, it was a reconnaissance plane. Having the pilots in that little glass cockpit allowed them to have a better view of everything around them, especially the ground below. Their vision was not blocked by the propeller or the aircraft itself. The Allied forces captured some of these towards the end of the war, but unfortunately none have survived to this day, presumably because they're just too weird looking. Alright, at the number 4 spot now, we have the Aerodyne. Just look at this thing. It looks like someone got halfway through building a normal plane and was just like,
honest. Yeah. This looks like a spaceship, doesn't it?
I'm bored. Let's call it a day. It is in fact the design of Alexander Lepisk, a German designer who created it to be an early drone used for aerial reconnaissance. Its unconventional design allowed it to either hover or move forward. Sadly, this drone never really took off. But imagine if it did. Imagine if YouTubers used this drone for their vlogs. Coming in at number 3 now, we have the Snecma coleopteri. Sorry for butchering that name. It's a French name meaning beetle, and you can see why. It looks like a fat little beetle bug. It was made in France during the 1950s, and I know what you guys are thinking. What were they thinking? Well, its design was supposed to allow it to take off vertically, meaning it needed almost no runway and took up very little space. They took it for 8 test flights, and it took off vertically just fine. On the 9th flight, they tried to then fly it horizontally like a normal plane, and it failed miserably. The thing just dropped out of the air. The pilot managed to eject, but was badly injured. The plane then exploded on the ground, and a second model did not receive funding. Au revoir, Beetle. Coming in at number 2 now, we have the Flying Pancake. Its proper name was the Vought V173, but you can see where it got its nickname from. It was an experimental plane designed by the US Air Force, who needed planes that could take off on very short runways and could do an almost vertical takeoff. The plane was tested over 190 times, mainly over Connecticut, and a lot of locals there reported seeing UFOs in the sky. Don't worry, Connecticutans, they weren't aliens, they were just flying pancakes. In peace. Alright, finally at number 1 now, guys, we have the NASA AD-1. In the 1970s, NASA had already been to the moon, and they were a little bit bored, so they thought to themselves, how far could we bend a plane's wing before the plane can't fly anymore? Well, they built the NASA AD-1 to find out. The wing could pivot up to 60 degrees from its normal position, and NASA found something quite interesting. Putting the wing...
If you guys enjoyed, give it a like. And if we get 2 likes, I'll do a part 2. Reacting to something else, maybe. Maybe trying to do a challenge. Anyways, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.